In the previous lectures, we have discussed about the sensing, mobile sensing, what exactly is the mobile sensing. And for that purpose, as we discussed, we need to sense various activities, or we need to send various electromagnetic waves with the help of sensors. So now in this lecture, we will discuss about the various sensor, whether external or internal in the mobile phone, which are utilized for mobile computing. The sensor, what exactly the sensors are? The sensor is a device that detects the image, that detects the major changes in the nearby environment, and then sends that data to the operating system or processor. The sensors are in the chip form. They sense and collects the data for which they are made for. Each sensor has a particular task of collecting the data. For example, like the ambient light sensor, this sensor is made to detect light. So it is an expert in detecting the light waves coming around it. Accordingly, the sensors have been categorized into three broader categories. One is the motion sensor, then environmental sensor, and position sensor. The motion sensors are the one which measure the axis-based motion sensing, like acceleration forces and rotational forces along with the three axes. This category includes accelerometer, gravity sensors, and gyroscope sensors in the X, Y, and Z direction. Next are the environmental sensors. These sensors measure the environmental parameters like air, pressure, temperature, light, and humidity, etc. in the environment. As you can see here, the location of the environment, the temperature rising, the weather forecast of the environment, the humidity level of the environment. This category includes majorly the barometers, photometers, and thermometers. These are the main sensors used in this category. Next are the position sensors. These sensors typically measures the physical position of any device, whether your device is in the landscape mode or portrait mode, or in which direction this sensor is able to capture that. It senses the position of the object by in connection to the electromagnetic field from the Earth's magnetic field. This category includes the orientation sensors and the magnetometer sensors. As you can see in this is the target object, and this is the field of the Earth electromagnetic field, and this is the air gap. And based on this capturing power or attraction power, it judges the orientation, or the magnetometer judges the direction of a particular device. After this, these were the mainly three broader categories, but there are various other sensors which we will look into details. These are the some standard sensors. Firstly, we'll talk about the accelerometer sensor. The accelerometer here, as you can see in the diagram, this is a chip of the accelerometer sensor that detects the axis-based motion sensing. That means in which axis the motion is happening, or in which axis a device is moving. It senses the changes in the orientation of the smartphones with respect to X, Y, and Z axis. Ambient light sensor, as we have already discussed, that it detects the light around your environment. This is present in the topmost notch of your mobile phone. In this case, your screen's auto brightness is working because of this sensor. For example, whenever you're using your mobile phone and it is exposed to a lot of sunlight, then automatically this sensor will detect the sunlight and increase the brightness accordingly of your phone, reduce the brightness accordingly of your phone. But if you are present in a very dark area where there is no presence of light, the sensor will detect the inefficiency of the light and thus increase the screen's brightness. The sensor basically detects the light around you and sends back the data to the operating system. And then based on that data, operating system adjusts the brightness. Next is the ambient temperature sensor. This is in similar to the ambient light sensor. As the ambient light sensor detects the light around it, the ambient temperature sensor is used to detect the temperature around your environment. This is not a standard sensor for all the phones. Only some special flagship phones like Galaxy S4 or Galaxy S5 have this kind of sensors to detect the temperature around your area. Next one is the barometer sensor. Barometer is used to detect atmospheric pressure, as this comes under the category of the environmental sensor. It can also detect the distance from the sea level. Like wherever we have the device, we can detect whether, based on the atmospheric pressure, what is its distance above the sea level. It can basically do two tasks. First, if your phone has a barometer, then barometer will help the GPS to accurately detect your location. Like the first task is the location mapping with the help of GPS. And second, one is your phone. It can help you to detect many fitness activities like tracking the steps and walk throughout the day, etc., with the help of barometer. Another sensor, utility sensor, is the fingerprint sensor. This is a security based sensor. As you can see in the current scenario or these days, most of all the mobile phones which we are using have the fingerprint scanner or the fingerprint sensor installed in them to unlock the phone. So this acts as a security based sensor. This sensor basically creates a map of your fingerprint first time when you are using the mobile phone. The next time when you put your finger on the sensor, it just matches it with the registered ones. And if the match comes out to be true, then your phone will get unlocked. Similar to the fingerprint sensor, the phone also has the face unlock sensor, which tries to unlock the face and acts as a security based sensor based on the face architecture of the person. Next useful sensor is the gyroscope. As you can see in the diagram, the gyroscope is a sensor which is an advanced version of the accelerometer. Gyroscope works with the accelerometer and detects each degree of changes in orientation. The acceleration observes the changes in the motion, whether you are changing a motion in x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. But gyroscope works with acceleration to detect the degree of changes in orientation, or whether you are moving, in which direction you are moving, along how much degree you are moving, that is detected by the gyroscope. It provides highly precious motion sensing data for the further processing involved. Next one is the magnetometer. Magnetometer, as you can see in the figure, looks like this, and it will acts like a compass in your phone. This sensor measures the magnetic field and can tell you where the north, south, east, and west is according to the position in which you are standing. This will help for the navigation system or for the people who travel from one area to another to navigate using the mobile phones. This is a very useful or helpful sensor. When you use Apple Maps or Google Maps, that is the magnetometer which tells where is the north. There are some metal detector apps which uses a magnetometer to detect the metal's presence. Another sensor is the NFC sensor, that is near field communication sensor. This is a technology by which two electrical devices can communicate with each other by bringing them within 4 centimeter range of each other. They can quickly, this sensor can quickly map the two devices by scanning the encrypted data, and with the help of that they can traverse or transmit information. They can quickly send encrypted data to each other, such as the payment details. Today, many smartphones have built-in support of NFC in them. Next sensor is the proximity sensor. As you can see, it is present at the back of the phone. The proximity sensor detects the presence of any nearby object near the device. In the mobile phone, it detects the distance between the sensor and the object around it. Generally, it is our ear or hand. During calls, your screen automatically goes off, as you have might observed, and this action is mainly done via the proximity sensor, because when you are holding the phone and talking on the phone, automatically the proximity sensor will detect the closeness of your hand and thus turns off the screen of your phone. These were the broad ideas of what sensors are embedded in the mobile phone. There are few external sensors also, which we have discussed about, like the barometer, ambient light capturing, etc. But there are few other sensors that can be talked about in details later on. But these were the main requirements of the sensor that are utilized in day-to-day life and for major of the mobile sensing applications. Thank you.